You know, Babylon is controlled by two spirits. The first spirit that rules Babylon is the spirit of Nimrod. That's the spirit of invention. That's the spirit of globalization. That's the spirit of greatness. That is why every time you find people who are slaves of Satan, the devil always bargains with them about greatness. I can give you something that will make you a star, and they begin to compromise. That's what led them to build Babel. It's the spirit of Nimrod. You come up with inventions that turn people away from God. And the second spirit that rules Babylon is the spirit of Jezebel. And the spirit of Jezebel is the spirit of seduction. It's the spirit of mixture. And it's the spirit of corruption. So if you are not taught how to overcome spirit cities, when you now go out to represent Jesus, you will now meet things, inventions that will be used to bargain your allegiance. Opportunities, doors of greatness. God makes men great. He said the Lord gave his word. Great was the company of them that published it. If you serve God, you'll be great. I've not called the seed of Jacob to seek me in vain. But God is not the only one that makes great. And so when the spirit of Nimrod is at work, it will give you opportunity for greatness, but you must compromise. If compromise is the basis for greatness, know that you are in Babylon. It doesn't matter where you are in the physical geography. In the spiritual geography, you are already in Babylon. And then if corruption and seduction becomes an operating system, the only way you find pleasure, happiness and relevance is when you are perverting the ordinances of God, or you are walking in corruption. Know that you are a citizen of Babylon. You are not yet in Zion. So a generation must be raised to know how to fight spirit cities. The ways of Babylon. The ways. The first is that you will be compelled to speak one language. That's why even in church today, they are forcing us to speak the language of the world. You know, when some of us show up and we start fighting some of these things, people think you are just trying to be difficult. They want us to dance the way they dance in the club. They want us to use words that they use in the gutters, on the street, to show that we have understanding. It's a spirit. They will compare you to pick up slangs from the gutters. You don't even know what it means. And you'll find Christians, pastors, musicians using those slangs and using all of those language. Because when you start speaking their language, you adopt their identity. And that language may not be what you verbalize. It can even be a way of dressing. That's why we tell our sisters here who think until you dress naked, you are not beautiful. It's Babylon. It's a language. The way a generation dresses is a language. It's Babylon. That's why when God wanted to destroy Babel, he scattered their language. Because if they speak one language, they want to find God in things or themselves, and they will neglect the living God. So from dressing to talking to lifestyle, all of those things are a language. It gives you an identity so that when the world sees you, they will not be able to tell the difference. Number two way of Babylon is that your focus is not the will of God, it's greatness. There are many people who are doing ministry today. They don't care what God says. They don't care what God's agenda is. So long as they feel relevant according to the standard of the world, that's fine. So you find people doing things dislocated from destiny. An intercessor wants to be an evangelist online. An evangelist wants to be a politician. An apostle who should be in the mission field wants to become. People are just dislocated. Yes, an apostle is a psalmist. Because anyone that looks as if it will give you visibility, the next thing, you have become a new creature and you are doing it. So a man who should be praying on the altar, you'll find him online, opening platform. He's trying to be known. Is Babylon. And the problem is that you may succeed in it. But the more you succeed, the more you discover you have wandered away from God. Somebody who should be a singer, come and sing. He said, no, singing is not working. I want to open my church. Somebody who should be opening churches in the village because God equipped him to be a missionary. He said, no, the village is not working. Me too, I'm coming to city center. And he comes to city center. In 3 months, he has borrowed money from all the borrowing platforms that is in that city. After 3 years, he carries his bag and run away because he's not wired to function there. And before he realizes it, Satan will mess him up. When you serve God, he will make you great. But greatness is not your pursuit. That's why it's called Babylon the Great. He will suggest greatness to you as your goal. Our goal is not to become great. Our goal is to fulfill the will of God when our time is over. I'm not telling you to become a mediocre. You know, we advocate for excellence, influence here, because it's a necessary tool for advancing kingdom. But that is not our priority. Everything that greatness looks like is a tool for advancing kingdom. Number 3 way of Babylon is a change of identity. Anything that puts you under pressure to hide your identity in Christ so that you are accepted or you are given an opportunity is not God. is Babylon. Babylon will force it down your throat. Somebody told a story. A woman wanted her son to go for all these holiday camps, and she was so troubled. In fact, she called some pastors to pray with her because she was afraid that if the son goes there and they discover she is a Christian, they were going to be taunting him, frustrating him. So the son went for the camp and came back. The woman was happy, trying to find out what happened. Hope your confidence, hope you have not been, they didn't insult you, they didn't do anything. The son said, no, don't worry. Nobody noticed I was a Christian. He adopted the identity of the world and managed it perfectly. Some of you saying, here, if we go to your office and we call you man of God, people will turn, who? Man of God? Are you a man of God? Because they will be shocked that you are a Christian. That's why I tell you, what we are talking about here is not just to come to church and speak in tongues. The guy said, oh king, we are not careful to answer you in this matter. He said, even if you make the fire 7 times hotter, we will not bow. We have a generation of people who compromise even when they are not tempted. So when we come to church, all of us are pious like St. Patrick, St. Thomas Aquinas. But the moment we go to the office, we are the same. Somebody said, he told a parable about Lagos. He said on Sunday, Lagos is dry because almost everybody is in church. But if you come back on Monday, if your glass is wind down, they will steal your phone. He said, where do these people go to on Sunday? Because we become like them. See, don't be a Lagosian because you live in Lagos. Don't be a Jamaican because you live in Jamaica. Don't be a Nigerian because you live in Nigeria. Be a citizen of Zion wherever you find yourself. If your identity is altered, you are a Babylonian. The fourth thing that defines the way of Babylon is mixture. Eating food given to idols. It's not everything we consume. I was preaching the other day. I told our people here, they said they are Christians, they want encounters, they want to burn for God, carry their phones. A secular song that litters everywhere. Any beat you play, before they sing the song, they will tell you the artist. As they are eating the word of God, that's how they are eating all the secular musicians. Even the ones that are outrightly honoring idols, Christians sing them. When you ask them, they say, is it a sin to sing a song? They are not kingdom oriented. Daniel and his friends said, we will not eat that which is sacrificed to idols. They said they called it defilement. Daniel chapter 1 verse 8. They refused. The songs you are singing, they came from spirits. They were inspired. You think they just sang because they were gifted? Why do you sing some songs here and you start praying in tongues? Because those songs come from altars that generate energies of the spirit. Who told you that you sing some song, you will not start feeling like committing immorality? Who told you that you will not sing some song and your fire won't go down? Who told you men originate songs? Songs come from the spirit realm. They are vibrations of their soul. When they release it, we catch it and we communicate it. They don't come from our realm. Because those sounds are transport medium. There are songs you sing and you meet God, and there are songs you sing, you meet the devil. Because those songs are vehicle to bring you there. But when people are Babylonians, they don't know what to eat. Your diet must be sanitized. We don't eat everything, sir. We don't participate in every meal. Only the things served from the Holy of Holies are the things we allow to enter our soul and our spirit. That's how we fight Babylon. The way they do me, and somebody is singing and dancing and dancing and dancing. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He they choke. And you hear Christian talking. When I hear those things, I say, which one is this? They say, no, they started saying it some days ago. And the other day I was asking my wife, I said, how do they know when these things come? That means they are tuned to those frequencies. The moment anyone shows up, you start hearing it everywhere. I said, this thing I'm hearing, what is it? They say, that's the raining slang. And Christians are consuming it every day. I'm not saying you won't hear it. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. You become a Babylonian when you begin to consume it. When they throw it at you, repel it. This one can't enter my soul. My diet is selected. I'm careful what I eat. Number 5 way of Babylon is bowing to men. When a system is built, even if it's called church, if at the end of the day they go is for a man to become a god, there's a problem. And that is why most of our churches today are Babylonian systems. It's all about general overseer. Even the message can't be preached until Papa is quoted 10-20 times, because you must say something that makes Papa feel that you are loyal. It's Babylonian system. Because the same way Nebuchadnezzar built a graven image, some of us, a large cathedral has become our graven image. That's why you see we kill ourselves today to build certain structures. All of that is packaging. I know the place of order. I know the place of excellence. I understand the necessity of building befitting places where people can come to worship God. but we are not called to worship men or things. The moment the emphasis become about a man, if that man is around, the man is so big that God is obscured, then you know that that place has become Babylon. No matter what they are saying, forget it. A spirit, another spirit has taken over. There's a place for honor, there's a place for respect, there's a place for regard. But men cannot take the place of God. But unfortunately, most of the institutions of the world today is all about men. It's not about God. It's Babylon. See what Jesus told the Pharisees. He said, you travel land and sea to make a proselyte. That means a young disciple. He said, but you make him twice the son of hell than he was when you met him. We pick people, we say we have won them to the kingdom. At the end of the day, they become our slaves and worshippers. Tell people to pray, they can't pray. But they can come and wait for man of God for 10 hours. Something is wrong. It's Babylon. Number 6, manipulation and witchcraft. You know the way Babylon works? It will bully you to worship it. That's why when the boys refused, they cast them into a furnace that was 10 times hotter. The system we are building today, if you dare the man of God, you are finished. He will kill you. I'm telling you, it's not a joke. First, they will preach messages that will make you become, you will be obscured. They will destroy your life and ministry with sermons. The sermon will make you worse than Judas Iscariot, so that nobody has anything to do with you. And every power they have to shut you down, from their colleagues to their resources, they will do it until you are so frustrated and useless. It's either you come back begging like a useless person, or you are wasted, and they will use you as an example for others. It's Babylon. They will throw you into a furnace that is 7 times hotter because you refuse to bow. I'm telling you what we have today. Daniel thrown into the lion's den. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into fire that was 7 times hotter. And if you are not taught how to survive Babylon, you will know that it's in the fire that Jesus appears, and you will bow before you are thrown in. Listen, honor men, respect men, serve anybody God places you under. Never come under the temptation of worshiping men. Whatever happens to you, receive it. Die serving God. You will be a gallant soldier. And trust me, everybody who stood their ground, when they are in the fire, Jesus appears. The ones who fail are the ones who compromise. And this is not just church, politics. Go and check some of our brothers who are serving their organ. You serve for 6 years, all of a sudden cases start coming up. That's when you are arrogant. That's when you are a thief, because the organ will make sure you are not settled. And at the end of the day, if he's compelled to settle you, he will settle you in a way that you will never prosper. They'll give you a shop at the end of the town. You'll see somebody serve for 7 years, he is settled, he can't become. Because the whole idea of the settlement is to relegate you to nowhere. Because they always see you as a competition. Is Babylon dominated every system. We must fight these things if we will fulfill God's agenda.